Hey everybody. So I wanted to make this video just to showcase how easy it is to start working with pre-trained models. And then so just very specifically, this video is going to be for pre-trained models. I'll make other additional videos and content with regards towards training models and things along those lines. But this is going to be assuming that we want to go with a model that's already trained and we just want to essentially play around with it and see how it works. And in order to do that, you can do it in a matter of minutes. So the very first thing that I want to do is the very first thing I have a Google Colab open. And so I use Google Colab for all of this. I have a very powerful desktop, but my desktop is it has two things. Essentially, I have a Xeon processor, and then I also have a AMD Radeon card. And then so both of those issues kind of create problems when it comes to GPU. So I use Google Colab a lot personally. And then so the very first thing that we want to do is just do a pip install of transformers. And then so I always do this. This is just kind of in my head what to do. So first of all, I'm not a developer, anything like that. I want to highlight that as well. And that's kind of why I think it's important to make these videos is that so my background is a lot in tech, but it's not anything with regards towards code directly. A lot of like my experience with coding is all self-taught. So HTML, JSON, like I can do API, Apex, a little bit of SQL, and then you're seeing Python here. But I would not, on any level, if anyone asks, I'm not a developer. I don't consider myself a developer, and I think that these things are easy enough that anyone that is on my level would be able to do them very easily. And then so again, it's my hope that like anyone showcasing that anyone can do this. So we have our pip install of transformers, and then essentially what this installs is the transformers package from Hugging Face, and then it's a whole bunch of stuff that's within this library. But essentially it allows us to do a lot of stuff. And all of the models that we're going to look at are going to be hosted on Hugging Face. So we can go there now, actually. And then on Hugging Face, I like looking at their documentation. And then so if you're ever lost, it's a really good to start with their documentation. They have all kinds of tutorials, exactly what to do, guides for setting up, sample environments, whatever training, anything that you want to know about basically anything you can find here in their documentation. And then also in their documentation, they have a bunch of models. And then so you can see here they have text, vision, audio, multimodal, reinforcement learning, graph models, time series models. So any type of model that you want to play around with, if it's open source, it's going to be here. And then so this is just a really good resource to go to. And then so in this instance, we're going to go to text models. And then just looking through the models here, we'll go ahead and go with like the Bloom model. And Bloom 560M is what I want to go with. This guy here, because it's real small. And then so I'm only running on a, so this 560 million parameter model, I'm going to be able to run it on Google Colab in just CPU mode. So this isn't going to take any, like, you could run this without a graphics card, basically, is why I'm choosing and picking this particular model. So once we have it here, it really simple, and like one of the things I love about Hugging Face is you just use in transformers. So that package that we installed, that transformers package, this is why. Using transformers, we get the code here. And then it's just a matter of copying and pasting the code in here, and then running and generating it. And then so what this is going to do is just flat out load our model. So once this loads, we have our pre-trained big science Bloom 560 million parameter model already ready to go. And then so this is all set and all good. The next thing that we need to do is directly interface with the model. And then so I was running, I'm not a developer, so I'll give it to you exactly how I ran through this and then how I was able to solve through the problems and set it up. And so I used AI to help me with this step. So after this loads, and once this loaded, I realized, okay, I know a few things as to what I need to do as to the next step to actually get this to so that I can interact with it, but I wasn't 100% sure. So the first thing that I did was I opened up Open Assistant. It said, "Hi, I have a Bloom pre-trained model installed with a Google Colab notebook. Can you generate the code I need so that I can prompt the model?" And then we'll just essentially take this code here. And then if we do, so I'm not going to run exactly what it said off of the bat, because I know off of the bat, even with my general knowledge, not knowing anything else, that it's not going to work for one particular reason, which is the model here, that it's a model Bloom, right? So if you look at everywhere else, and especially here where I have essentially where we've taken the model, see this model name, like this is important. Like the model name is not Bloom. It is, let me copy this selection here. So the model name is very specifically like exactly what it is. It's that long model name, and then let's paste it there. This guy. And then so off the bat, again, I'm not a programmer, so this looked okay to me, so I decided to run this. And then we're going to get an error on this. And then I didn't know specifically exactly why it was erroring when I first ran this. So let's run it and let it error. It's going to take just a second. It's going to error right here. Oh, it errors here. So it gets past that, right? Like it can even go here, but it errors here. So output equals model prompt generate, and then it says list object has no attribute generate, and then so very first thing I did, like rather than going back to OpenAI or Open Assistant and asking that, I decided to ask Bard, and then so I essentially said, yeah, here's the code that I'm running, and then here's the error, very specific error, and then when I asked Bard, the first draft that it gave me, it gives this code, and then so I notice here when I look, it's like at the output, it's going to error the same, because so Bard fixes the error up here. If you notice, if you're paying attention, and if you know what you're looking here, but it doesn't fix it down here, so it's going to error on that same line that it errored on before. And then so it's like, okay, that's going to be that problem with that one. This one, I was like, okay, I can play around and maybe get this and modify this, but then I go over to draft 3 and I look, and then so on draft 3 here, it's got it fixed, and then if you pay attention to what Bard is actually saying, as far as the error, it's saying that it's raised because it's calling for a list object, and so it's not valid for that, and then so it makes sense to me. Understand exactly why it's erroring out, and then like taking with all that in mind, looking over this code actually looks a lot better. I don't see anything wrong with it, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in here, and then let's run this. And if you notice, the good thing with Bard in this instance too is that it was able to, I did feed it as well, more specifically, that it was the very specific model, but it did input it already in the code. I didn't have to adjust that. And then it says that its favorite color is blue. So that's because that's what the prompt is. So what's your favorite color? I said, let's see, what's your favorite YouTube channel? And then we'll just let this run here, and then it's going to take a little bit longer than it would take with, if you're running ChatGPT or Bard or something like that, or something that's a larger model, but still 13 seconds there. It doesn't know, I think, probably what YouTube channel is. This is a 560 million parameter model, so that's another thing to notice too, and to mention as well. It might not even know what YouTube channel is. Let's see, what's your favorite animal? And then so the general performance of the model is not going to be like the highest with this, and you can go higher. The reason why I'm going with very small models with this and within these is, again, I'm running Google Colab, and then this is the very free version of Google Colab, so all I have is RAM. And then even with this 560 million parameter model, it's like hitting up sometimes like half of the RAM. It's a dog. What is your favorite animal? Is a dog, said the girl. But so you can see, like it's gonna have not the smartest answers at times. But so if you want to play around with small models and then experiment and then run them on your own, and then the beauty with this is that with this, once you have this running, then you can add something like LangChain, or if you want to connect this model, you want to turn this model into a chat bot, you want to train it more, you want to fine-tune train it, all those types of things. So once you have it in here, then it's all good to go. And then the point of this video, I really just want to show how easy it is for anyone to do this. Again, it's just the commands that I'm putting in are pip install transformers, which I know I'm gonna have to do right off the bat for anything, and then literally just copying the code from the repository from Hugging Face. And then the only thing that I had to work through was this part right here. And then it was just a few iterations and then working back and forth with AI specifically to help me out. And then so with this in mind, we could do this same thing with any of the models that we were looking at on Hugging Face here. Like, so for example, just, random one. This one, I think it's not like a specific chat one that you can chat a lot with. And it also doesn't have the what I was talking about, the export to transformers. So not every single model will have the ability to export to transformers. Looks like a significant number of these that I'm clicking on here aren't now, but because I'm looking at but it shouldn't matter. But when you're in a Hugging Face environment, so for example, I know what the error is here, and then I'll leave this in the video. So if I go to if I flan for T5, and then if I go to like the model here, like this T5XXL, and then using transformers, then I could just copy this code and then use it in the transformers, and then it'd be the same step. So it'd be essentially, we would just be replacing this here, and then anywhere where it says in this line here, this big bloom, the big bloom science, all we would do is just replace it with Google Flan T5 XXL, and then Google Flan is like for like translating, so if you wanted to set up a really simple model here, again, this would be really easy. I'll link the description to this specific collab book, Bloom 560M, in the description, just so you have it. And then it gives you essentially everything that we went through here. You can look through the code, set this up yourself. If you want to set up your own model, switch out Bloom models, showing you how easy it is with pre-trained models. And then so pre-trained models is the kind of your starting point. And then so again, just showing how easy this is. It does get more complicated from here, training, but it's not that much more complicated. It's, if you like, each step is pretty iterative, and like the process, and it advances slowly. Like, there's not a sharp learning curve. If you can get to the point where you can understand exactly what I've done within this video, all these simple things. I don't fully understand Python. Like, again, I'm not a developer, so. But if you can just simply understand exactly what's going on within here, then you can do the same exact things that we're looking at here, and it's really simple to do. So I hope you guys like this type of content. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.